Greetings and welcome back to the 12th episode of Bulldog Weekly Season 7. I'm Edie.
And I'm Sienna. In this week's episode, we'll get a sneak peek at Stage Artistry Studios' Mean Girls production, see members of the Bulldog Weekly crew give their opinions on movies, and get an exclusive interview with Old Rochester's very own Mr. Carvalho.
But before we get to that, here's Mr. Devoll and Mr. Carrig with the week ahead of school and sports.
Everybody, welcome to the rundown. It is the first Sunday in November. It's also daylight savings. It is November 5th. So we have kind of an unusual week. We have 2 days off, but they're not back to back. So we have school on Monday. We have a day off on Tuesday, election day. Teachers will be coming, but students won't. Wednesday and Thursday we have school, and then Friday we are celebrating Veterans Day with no school. So it's Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. So a little start and stop for us. We are in the midst of term 2. And we have a lot of things happening in our Bulldog block. Namely, a couple colleges are coming this week. We have the Montserrat College of Art. So some of our art students are interested in learning more, typically in the junior and the senior year. And that's going to be in our ceramics classroom. So that's pretty good. We also have, we're in the middle of our fall sports state tournament run. It was a very exciting home football game on Friday, beating North Middlesex. And so we are now looking ahead to what's next in that playoffs. We also had volleyball, boys and girls soccer qualify. We had very successful events this past week. So we're kind of in that in-between period, finishing up fall sports, gearing up for winter sports, but we only have 3 days of school. We'll see you.
What's up, Bulldogs? Great end of the week last week and a lot on the slate this week. Wins for just about every program to wrap up last week, starting with our track program. Girls track comes away with indoor track comes away with a victory against Greater New Bedford Voc at the Janiac Fieldhouse over in Greater New Bedford. Boys and girls swim both get wins against Durfee on the road down in Fall River. And boys and girls basketball both took on Joseph Case on Friday night. Girls narrowly edged them out at home. Boys took care of business on the road, both getting wins there. And then ice hockey in a thriller on Saturday afternoon over at Tabor, 5-0 against Apponequet. Always nice to get a good, strong league win as we head into the back half of the season. So that brings the ice hockey record to 8-4, and good job on that season for those guys especially. This week, lots going on. Girls basketball is on the road, non-league at Bishop Stang this evening. If you have the opportunity to travel down and support them, that should be a pretty good one. Tomorrow, Bourne High School League play. The boys host Bourne 3:35 and 6:30. Come out and support the boys. That's going to be a great game. I'd love to have everybody pack the gym for that one. Girls will be on the road, of course. On Wednesday, ice hockey is scheduled. We're looking for ice time for that one, so look for a change there on Wednesday, probably a day off. Thursday, swim has their senior recognition against Apponequet up in their pool up at Apponequet. And track will be competing in a big one against Apponequet over at Greater New Bedford Voc. And of course, we've got Friday night basketball. The girls are down at Falmouth in more non-league play on Friday night. Saturday, the boys take the big trip. Ice hockey is going out to Nantucket to take on a very, very strong Nantucket ice hockey team. So lots of exciting testers this week. A great opportunity on Tuesday to get in the gym, fill that dog pound, be loud, be proud, be positive, and let's help get our teams over the finish line. Updates to power rankings coming for you next week as we get into tournament mode as we approach February. So great week last week. Looking for a strong one again this week. And as always, go Bulldogs.
Thank you for the weekly update, Mr. Devoll and Mr. Carrig.
Our first segment gives us a glimpse of Stage Artistry Studios' Mean Girls production, showcasing some of the Bulldog Weekly members. Check it out!
My name is Regina George, and I am a mercenary. I will grind to sand beneath my Louboutin tree. My name is Regina George.
Looks great. Make sure to get your tickets.
Up next, we'll watch the boys of Bulldog Weekly give their opinions on some popular movies. Take it away.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second episode of Movie Talk. So today I'm joined by Ezra, he's our guest of honor. And when I say honor, because we're going over the DCEU today in a tier list. So let's kick it off with what's the first movie?
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. I'm gonna go B.
I also believe B. I know Anthony does not like this movie.
No, I'll go B.
Okay. B.
I'm good with
is-
B. I don't really care.
Yeah.
B. It
I haven't
is.
rewatched
Oh,
it in a
that's
while,
C.
so I can't.
B. Okay. Batman v Superman.
You guys go first.
C.
D or F for me. I'd go as low as F.
It's understandable.
No, I'll go D.
D. So I go D. C. What do you got?
A. I think it's a very brilliant, I think it's a subversive movie
So-
that exists to make people
I
angry.
guess it's a C. Yeah, I'd go C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, Suicide Squad.
That is
3, 2,
an
1,
F.
Yeah.
Yep.
Horrible movie.
Alright, Justice League. I
That is also an F.
personally believe it to be a D.
Nope.
That is an F.
Alright.
That is
alright.
a fail.
Alright.
Failure.
All right.
Wonder Woman.
Okay, Wonder Woman. That is an A. That is an
A?
Yes.
Yeah, what are you going?
That is
B,
that is a top
but, yeah.
Put it in
for DCU. It's not. S.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't think
Uh,
any of these movies are S
I
movies.
think keep it A.
I actually don't think any of these are S movies.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think- no, I
Aquaman.
think
That
there's
is
one.
Aquaman. That is either a C or a D for me.
A.
B. Just put it B.
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay,
good.
Because I said B before.
but it's not better than Man of Steel, respectfully.
Yeah, it is.
Shazam?
I should rewatch that.
This is better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
No.
No, Justice League
That
is
was
better
really
than Suicide
funny.
Squad.
Suicide Squad's better than Justice League.
Suicide Squad is so
No,
funny.
Justice League's better.
No.
All right, Shazam. I'm gonna go with a B for Shazam.
I agree with that. Yep.
B.
Yeah.
I go with A.
I think it might be the second best B.
I think it's, but I think it's way
Well, if
ahead
I'm
of
going
these
B, he's
two.
going B. You're going A to B.
Yeah, but it's way ahead of.
It is light years ahead of this movie. I don't know why this movie's at B. I really don't know why. I don't
It's a
know
good
why
movie.
this movie's at B.
It's a good movie.
But anyway, Birds of Prey. That's a
C.
That's either a C or a D. I actually haven't seen it,
I don't
but
remember. I saw. I don't remember it, but it
We'll
was
go-
fine.
we'll
I think
go
it was.
C.
I think yeah, I was at C.
We'll
when
go
I
C.
watched it. I don't remember.
Wonder Woman
Alright.
84 is an F.
F.
That's an F. I think it's better than Suicide Squad.
I think it's a D.
Whatever.
Well, we
All
said
right.
F, so.
I can't speak on Zack Snyder's Justice League.
That is either an S or an A. It is probably the best DCEU movie. So
B.
I'm going A.
Dude, it's so long. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it over.
You sound like Joe Coy.
I've already
Okay,
watched it.
so what are you going with? You haven't seen it.
All right. I'm gonna go based just on
Why
aura.
haven't you seen it?
I haven't seen it because I don't have the time.
Exactly.
Okay, it's definitely not B though.
It's definitely
We can't let
B.
this happen.
It's
It is
definitely
not
B.
below Aquaman.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
assume that.
I'll
it's-
put it A.
I
I'll put it-
personally
I'll
believe
put it behind
it's A.
Wonder Woman. It's an A.
Yeah,
Stop
I-
it. No.
Hey,
No, it's an A. You don't understand. I'm the only one who's seen it out of everyone.
I saw it.
No, you didn't.
I saw it.
Stop.
All
I'm not
right.
seeing it again.
The Suicide Squad. That is probably an S. Yeah.
A C?
Yeah, you said you know.
I'm trying to move it up.
I think we all agree.
S. Yeah.
I think
S.
that's unanimous there.
I love James.
Peacemaker. That is also an S.
You watched it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's an S for me.
Ezra hasn't watched it.
Gunn.
S,
Yeah, I
right?
Can't speak on that.
S.
But sure. Yeah.
This
Black
is an
Adam.
F for me.
I
This is stupid.
haven't
This
seen it,
didn't-
but it
this
looks
didn't
like
need
a
to be.
solid D
Either.
for me.
Okay, fine.
I
We'll
think-
go D. We'll go D.
Put it D.
Shazam! Fear of the Gods. I think is also a D.
Anthony, you saw
Movie.
that one, right?
Go up.
I think no, it's above Black Adam though. I think it's a D though. It's not very good.
I think it's above these.
I actually met.
But I don't think it's up here. I think it's.
I met Zachary Levi at Comic Con last year.
How was he?
He was cool. He told me about Fury of the Gods. I told him I'd watch it.
You didn't?
I have not seen it.
All right.
But
Disappointed him.
rightfully so.
I'm the only one.
All right.
I see he's kind of crazy. For
The
this.
Flash.
It's better than these two.
Sure.
I'm gonna
the
say
Flash.
some-
I'm gonna give it a C.
I
I'm
personally
giving it a C.
believe it's an F. I think it's an. It's
So I'm giving C. He's giving F. You're the.
Well, I'm between F and D. So we
So
go
but
D
it's a
if
D,
you
it's a
want.
D.
Yeah.
Higher.
It's definitely above Black Adam.
It's I found it very.
It's definitely better
very
than Black
bad.
Adam. It's definitely.
But I
better
didn't
than
see Black Adam,
Okay,
so
it's better than Black Adam.
No, I like.
And Blue Beetle I have not seen. Have any of you guys seen Blue Beetle?
I saw it.
Anthony saw it. He thinks it's an S.
Fine. No, I think it's
A C. It's generic as heck.
I think it's a C. Yeah. I think it's below.
It's definitely above Birds of Prey.
It's above Batman vs Superman for sure.
Okay.
Than this.
You're actually killing him inside right now by putting that. This is his favorite movie of all time.
Wait, what did you say for Batman vs Superman?
I thought it was an A.
Batman vs Superman is like a C or a D.
Why?
I think it should be lower. Than
It's like the
this.
Amazing.
It doesn't
It's like
look
the
it
Amazing
should
Spider-Man
be.
2. Too much is going on.
It should not be next
But
to Blue Beetle.
It's Batman's introduction into the universe. That's stupid.
Yeah. I agree that like in terms of
Keep it there.
sequence,
Keep it there.
in terms of
Yeah.
sequence in the
Alright.
universe, it's bad. But like as
It's
a
definitely
film,
better than Birds of Prey, and it's most
Like,
likely better than.
You
I
haven't
just-
watched Birds of Prey.
I just can't see
like people
I just
talk,
can't see
Here's
that,
my thing.
like-
People talk about. No one talks about Birds of Prey. That's one thing.
Birds of Prey though looks better. I've seen it. Like it has better color grading and stuff. Like
Color grading,
This is
okay.
this is the ugliest thing ever.
it's
just
not that ugly.
It's just broody.
It's not that ugly.
Okay,
Gotham
guys.
looks
So
good.
that right there is our ranking,
Our collective
tier,
ranking.
tier list. If you guys want more of this, let us know. We'll probably end up doing it regardless
Shout
of
out
what
to
you
James
think.
Gunn.
James Gunn, you absolutely made the most mid universe of all time, and yet people still want you back. I don't understand.
That's Zack Snyder.
That's it. Never mind, Zach. James Gunn. No, you're the future James Gunn. We believe in you. However, Matt Reeves is better than both of them.
I agree.
So
I think the Batman would be S tier.
Yeah.
If we were to
the
rank it.
Batman doesn't belong with these movies. I'm
Yeah,
so glad
it's
that
not
they
even on the
decided-
same level.
Like it's just not fair. It's
Yeah.
unfair.
Absolutely.
It's like the '96 Bulls. It's just not fair.
Where would you guys put Joker if it was here?
S.
S?
B.
I agree.
Only because of
Wow.
Well, I don't know,
Wow.
man. It's
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, guys, the next time we'll probably do what type of movies? Well, actually, no. Anthony and I are gonna just tell everyone our top 5 favorite movies of all time next time. So stay tuned for that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed and peace.
Maker. Ha.
I see what you did there.
Wow, those are some interesting takes.
In our last segment, Ezra interviews Mr. Carvalho, coach of ORR's boys varsity basketball team. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of our coach interview series. Today we have with us today the beloved boys basketball coach who's been here for over 19 years, Mr. Carvalho. Mr.
Pleasure.
Carvalho, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm sitting with one of my stellar students who does a wonderful job in history, and I could be happy to sit down and talk some boys basketball with you.
Absolutely. So I just kind of want to start off with your origins. How and when did your passion for basketball start?
Many, many years ago. I actually could go all the way back to when I believe my mother confirmed this when I was 4 years old, which I don't remember, walking into this gym. The reason we actually moved to Mattapoise from the Fall River and Tiverton area, because my father was hired as head basketball coach here and as a teacher and administrator eventually in the late 60s, early 70s. So I really had an early taste of what it was like to be in this building through my younger years in elementary school to junior high, coming to games, being around and couldn't wait to be a Bulldog. So it really started back at a very young age, coming through the youth programs here in Mattapoise in the Tri-Town and playing, over in New Bedford a lot in Fall River. And then being a Bulldog and being a former alumni and, really loving everything about it, and it's awful good to give back. But yes, it goes way back to early childhood.
Absolutely. Do you know when you thought that you wanted to pursue coaching?
Well, I always, loved the sport, and I always liked kids and working with kids and younger kids in the neighborhood. Initially I was in other fields. I was in marketing and account executive for a good 8 or 9 years, and I just wasn't sure that's where things were leading, so I went back to school to get a history degree with coaching in mind, and then an opportunity presented itself. So like a lot of people in life, I had a career change, my late 20s, around 30, and it was the right change. So I had a taste of the other world out there, And then when I went back to get my history degree and my master's degree and so on, basketball and even baseball followed.
Absolutely. And before you started coaching for ORR, did you have any experience with basketball coaching or playing, or even just like within your family?
Yep, as I mentioned, my father, my brother played. I come from a family of 4 boys, so there was certainly a lot of backyard basketball, and grew up playing down a place like Center School. But being a coach's son, I was around it, even though during my formative years he wasn't coaching. But I just, didn't have any other experience except helping out with youth, at times, some clinics, but actually coaching before I got to the high school level, no. And again, worked my way through the system, I believe, which we talked about previously.
Yep, I was actually just about to move on. In 2005, you became head coach after coaching sub-varsity for around 10 years. Mm-hmm. Do you remember how you felt when you got to the position, and did you feel like you had to change your approach to coaching at all?
Sure, great question. I really started, I don't want to say the bottom of the ladder, because to me it was an opportunity. I started as the first assistant freshman basketball coach to Rick Regan. Shout out to Coach Regan. Was there for 3 years. Then I was the JV coach for 8 years. So I had the advantage of 11 years of sub-varsity coaching, going back to your question. I worked under 3 head coaches. I learned from them, was, watching the college game, buying tapes and so on. So if the moment ever did arise, I was preparing for myself. But yes, in 2005, when it did come, I was ecstatic. My family was ecstatic. And, it did change, because now you're the head of a program. You're responsible for all the kids. As I say, someone on the freshman team, lobbying for time is just as important as the senior captain. But I knew it was a big responsibility, teaching and coaching. But I dove 2 feet in, like I always do. Had some struggles early on with some injuries and a few tough seasons, the first few. But righted the ship the 3rd year, and certainly was very excited about it. And again, glad to give back to Old Rochester, the Tri-Town that had given a lot to me as a kid.
Absolutely. And speaking of just approach in general, what would you describe as your general philosophy or approach to coaching?
Well, the first thing is that we just talked about the other day. I want to, teach life skills and help these young men become good people and college students and family members and so on. And give the kids a good experience. Easier said than done when you're dealing with teenage boys. Playing time is playing time. And at my level, it can be tricky at times. And, as I say, I go to sleep with it at night. But my philosophy is, I like up-tempo basketball. I like, we call it defend, rebound, and run. I like to give our opponents more to work on in practice and use psychology on them at times and mixing things up. If something's working, I'm not going to mix it up. But I certainly... over the years have made adjustments to the game. Maybe no sport at any level, especially at the professional level and the college level, and now trickle down to high school, has changed more than basketball. And you had to stay up with the times, and you had to stay up with spread offenses and so on. So, my philosophy is for kids to, outwork people, out-hustle them, have fun playing this great game we love, and do the best they can. Obviously, at the varsity level, there's a little more put on success. We've had our share of success. But I want the kids to have a great experience. I want them to remember the bus rides and their teammates. They're going to forget some of the scores. But overall, I think we play an exciting brand of basketball. And it's nice to keep it entertaining for the locals too, Ezra. Absolutely.
I completely understand. So I kind of want to shift gears into the current season. So how is the current season going for you?
Pretty solid. Interesting timing today, as we'll get to in a minute or two. We're 8-3 overall. We're 4-1 in the South Coast Conference. The conference is split into large and small. We're tied with Somerset right now for first place. Overall, the season so far has been a success. We've dealt with a fairly serious injury. We've lost a few tough games down the street at Wareham to a very good Somerset team and to Division I Belmont up in the Bridgewater Raynham tournament. So I'm pleased with the kids. They've hung tough. It's been a team effort. We've had great contributions off the bench, and the kids who are expected to do their jobs. The John Butlers of the world, the Robert Spinars, the Chase Pasansons, Gavin Martin, Zach Morrell, and then the contributions off the bench. So I'm pleased. We have a ways to go. We've got a very tough fight in the South Coast Conference. We've won the league the last 2 years. we're certainly going to do our best to try to do that again and get as high in the state tournament seedings as we are. We're ranked 5th right now in Division III in the state. So a lot to be happy, but a lot of work to do as always.
That's fantastic. And what has been your favorite moment of the season, would you say?
There's been a few of them. We certainly went down into Viking land and played them very tough in anyone's game at the end. But I think I'll have to go back to the Bridgewater Random Tournament when I brought the kids up there to play, tough competition. After we dropped the Belmont game, our 6'3" center, forward center, Robert Smart, was hurt right out of the gate within the first minute. We lost Robert, and we had such contributions that night from even freshmen, sophomores who had never seen much varsity time or any varsity time at all. And we won a tight game against Division II Situate. So I think the kids coming out of that tournament 1-1 and losing someone the caliber of Robert really showed how they would stick together and fight. Obviously John Butler had a great game with 29 points. But being over in that environment and having one of your kids go down like that and seeing the kids coalesce and work together, I think I'll go with the Situate game right now. I thought that was important. I thought we came out there a little more mentally tough, and hopefully it's helping us moving forward.
Sounds fantastic. So now I'd like to shift into the very, very near future. Tonight, your team is going up against Wareham, I believe?
The Vikings?
Yes.
Yes, the Vikings.
Yes, in a very intense battle. Can you tell me a little bit about why this is such an important game tonight?
Well, I sat in that locker room, as you asked earlier, and it was intense back when I played, as it always has been. Wareham, for people's own knowledge, is not in the South Coast Conference anymore, but we're certainly still playing as long as I'm coach. It's just a storied rivalry. It's been around forever. Marion kids, when I was here, knew the Wareham kids. Similar now. They play today at the Y together. And it's just intense basketball. They had our number for quite a few years when I first came on as coach. And it took a little while to change the tune, but we have. But I just think the environment, the fans travel, the gyms are packed. And, the teams have been pretty good the last few years. Back in 2015, when we were fortunate to have that wonderful season, we had to get by them down there even to win the South Coast Conference. And then we had to get by them again a few weeks later in the semifinals to get to the South Finals. But I just think it brings an electric environment. It brings some angst. It brings a lot of things. The kids want to win. The coaches are ambitious and competitive, and it's a lot of fun for the student body. So it will be an exciting one. They're very good. They're very skilled. But we'll be ready for them and hopefully do our best. But I just think Wareham OR goes back to the days when both these buildings started, and I think it stayed strong and is strong in 2024.
So overall, what would you say is your general hope for tonight on playing?
I can ask him a few questions. You see Mr. Thompson in class debates. He's something special. Did you say my philosophy tonight?
Yeah.
Well, we need to slow them down a little. Both teams set tempo when we play fast. They are a very skilled, guard-driven team. They have 4 3-point shooters on the coming out of the gate all the time. They've got more coming off the bench. They've got a 6'5", 6'6" kid in the middle. So we've got to pick the right defense and contain them from the arc. If they start hitting 10, 11, 12 3-point shots, you can do the math. The other thing is we have to rebound because we're bigger than them. So we've got to really crash the offensive glass, hurt them in the glass, win the free throw battle, and handle the pressure well. Wareham's always been a very good full court pressure team, and that's what they want. They want to create chaos out there. They want to run and gun, and they're very good at it. So I think if we can control the glass, get our break started, we're not backing off from anyone when it comes to how we play. Maybe we pull it back in a couple of spots. And we have to make shots. Basketball is about forcing tough shots and creating good ones. So I'm excited about, our size advantage. I'm excited about how we played them last time, but we can't get too far behind. I think we have to stay with them and match them toe for toe. Both teams are capable of putting 70 points. I'm not sure this game is going to be one of the 50s, as much as that's our average defensively right now. So, it's going to be a great battle, and I look forward and hopefully going to come out on top. I plan to be.
I hope you do. And I just want to shift gears a little bit again to a more general sort of thing. So last year, around this time in January, I believe, you and your team joined the 200 win group in the MBCA's Victory Club. 200 wins later, what do you think that you've learned all these over all these years coaching?
Well, going back to my mentors, someone else, I worked under 3 coaches, but someone I'd like to mention too, Bob Hone. Bob Hone was my English teacher, my basketball coach, soccer, 652 wins. I learned a lot from Bob, and I'm a person who's indebted to people who have helped me. 200 wins and coach of the years and things like that are great. I've had good players. Players play, and I put a lot there. Yes, a lot of preparation and bus rides and so on and so on. But sure, it's nice to be honored. It's nice to be honored when it comes to, longevity, in today's world and so on and so on. But I do put it back in the kids, and I appreciate my assistants, my athletic directors, my administrators, and whoever it may be. But it's certainly combined over the last few years too. I couldn't even tell you where I was in 100 wins or 150 or what game it was. And I wasn't even looking at this when it came to me from somebody else. But I'm proud of the accomplishment. But again, it's been a collective group, especially the kids.
Absolutely. And I know you don't like talking about this, but as you did mention, you won Coach of the Year this year. Very big accomplishment. What do you have to say about that? How did you feel winning that award?
Well, I think any time a team, wins a state championship like Archbishop Williams did, they select a few coaches in each division. It used to be by South, North, and so on. I think they looked at a school, not an unknown school, and we're certainly not unknown across the board athletically when it comes to Dalton trophies and so on. Went up there and knocked heads in the Final Four with 3 Metro West or Greater Boston parochial schools, nothing to do with the Catholic versus public. Won their last 15 games in a row. Went 18-3 in the regular season, 21-4 overall. That the numbers speak for themselves with what the kids accomplished. But again, a nice honor. I actually was at the banquet to go and honor the Hall of Fame inductees, like Charlie Dacey from Taunton, who's been another mentor of mine. We played in the Summer League. But at the end of the day, it was a nice position to reflect on your career, to reflect on being a teacher first and a coach, in a nice honor, with my own family and so on. I think, we all like to have some sort of legacy. My legacy is, I hope, is being a good person and helping kids. And, I just talked to one of my former students and going to see one of my players up at Bridgewater State. But if there can be something about accomplishments, and it's been something that, the state wants to honor, I'll accepting. But I don't want to be repetitive, but there's been a lot of people that have been part of it.
Absolutely. And finally, do you have any message for your team and for the fans? You can just say it right there.
First of all, I have a message to thank you. Thank you for being an outstanding young man. I'd like to thank Jacob Davis for all the legwork and everything that ORC TV does. As I tell you, I turn it on the weekends and check in for athletics, but I also watch you guys, you on your shows, and you do well. Just, we like an electric environment out here. As I say, fill the dog pound. Tonight's a special night. I know this will be broadcast after that. But as we move forward, all the support is really appreciated, especially if and when we get to the state tournament. And just that we're doing the best to give your kids a great experience, and certainly, wish all the winter teams their best, and appreciate and just love being, the head coach of this program. And again, giving back to Old Rochester Regional and this wonderful community.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Mr. Carvalho for doing this interview. Good luck to you at the game tonight. I, along with, I'm sure, the rest of the student body will be there.
We will do our best, young man. My pleasure and honor, Ezra.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Ezra, for that insightful interview.
Teachers and students, if you would like to have something filmed and shown on Bulldog Weekly, let us know at the ORC TV station.
Be sure to check out our Vimeo and social media channels for everything that we film here at ORC TV. We film sports games, town meetings, school events, and more.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode of Bulldog Weekly. Till next time, I'm Sienna.
And I'm Edie.
And this is Bulldog Weekly.
Oh, God, you're so annoying.
I hate
I'm
you.
so glad this
I
is
hate
done.
you.
I never want to host with you again.